Hello everyone, Gilbert here. Welcome to Red Dragon Model Works. Here you have Kukulkan, or as his enemies call him, Namor. I'm going to be using some Pan Patels on top of what I've already airbrushed. That, what you just see there, that's been airbrushed. Most of his skin tones I airbrushed on. But now I want to highlight certain areas. This is the final step. I didn't record the other two steps. I used a Payne's Gray, I used a red iron oxide, I used a red iron oxide extra dark in the shadows, just to give it a little pop. And this is the final stage. I was asked how I got that color. Well, that's a bunch of different colors in there. There's Badger Stynal Res, there's terracotta, then I have a pale pink, I have a tan flesh, olive flesh, Citadel's Drakenhof Nightshade for inside the crevices and stuff. There's a skin wash on top of that. And then I used a cadmium yellow. Well, before I did that, he was still a little too light, and I needed to darken him up a little bit. So I used a leather brown from Vallejo, and I made a very, very, very thin wash. And I shot that over everything. Let that sit, sealed it, and I made a very, very thin wash of Liquitex ink, which is a yellow-orange azo. And I took that, made a very thin wash of that, and just glazed it over everything, just to give it a little hint of of sunniness to the skin. This, what you see me doing, is the last part. This is the final part of it. And I'm using a red magenta shade. And what I'm doing there is I'm layering that down on certain parts of the body just to give him a little rosiness to make it look like flesh, so to speak. You know, where the blood would come up on the high points. And then I'll blend it into the dark areas. So I'm using just a regular brush. That is it's a Zero, a Nico Pro Zero. I think that's hog's hair. It's very, very fine. It's a good brush. So I'm using that to lay it down. I take a makeup sponge, which you see me doing there, and just blend it all in and wipe off the excess, and just make sure that I blend it all in and it's not too red. It doesn't. I don't want it to look too red, but I want it to give him a little glow. So I'll do this on the whole figure, the legs, the chest area, the face, the arms, especially his feet, on the bottoms of his feet. You know, you got to have that also on there. So as you see, I'm just wiping off as I put it on. I'll wipe it down. I'm tinting is what I'm doing. The high points, the color. I'm not putting it on so it's a real red. I'm just layering it in there very thin, very little. You don't need a lot with this stuff. I blend it down with the brushes. You see me doing there on the arm. And then I'll take a makeup sponge. And I'll just start to, right there, just start to blend it back. You know, take off the excess and just blend it back. And I'll do this a couple of times. I do this multiple times with each color that I layer. That way I can blend it. And it looks a little bit more natural. You know, you just smooth it all down. So yeah, and here you have the final part of it. A good 70% was airbrushed. The rest is done with Pan Patels. And there he is so far. That's his skin tones. I got a nice dark color to him. Because, you know, dark-skinned people with more melanin, that's a little bit more difficult to do than just a Caucasian skin tone. There's different colors you have to add to that to make it bring out right. But there he is so far. I hope you like it. Leave a comment down there. Let me know what you think of it. You know, please subscribe, like.